I'm not sleeping on the street. I'm a capable human being.
Making conscious next steps.
I'm a conscious and
seeing growth really happen.
We some hip hop niggas, like we don't need to vocalize it to make shit like that's what I grew up.
I promise y'all,
12-hour day
my
type
stomach broke.
listeners, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. You're now listening to the Flyer Pop Podcast. I got some beautiful guests with me today. I got peace and love, everybody. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in to the Flyer Population Podcast.
Fly Pup.
I am your favorite host, Remy Supreme,
It's your boy Danny O'Fay.
and we got the lovely, the intelligent, the beautiful Fatima,
Guys.
Fatima.
Let us start.
young Teemers in the
Thank
building.
You
AKA.
make me cry.
How you doing, lady?
Thank you. How are you guys doing? I'm blessed.
Good,
to
good.
have
Thank you so much for coming out here.
It's an honor.
Thank you guys. Stop. You keep saying that, but it's really an honor for me, for you guys to choose me to be here. This is great.
It is, man. It is honestly a great experience. I've been so excited about it. We actually talked about this yesterday. This is one of the
Oh
episodes.
my God, you guys are talking about me.
Yeah.
I've really
We
been
talking
looking
we
forward
talking about
to.
Last week,
That's
last
awesome.
week, saying that he definitely was super excited to have you on here. And honestly, we got some really good questions for you. We got some good stuff for you. So we want to learn a little bit about you.
Learn.
Yeah.
Let's
That's what we're here
learn.
for.
Yeah, like our main reason for this, as you know, is just getting creatives and artist stories told. So
Yeah, no,
that's
and what's better than both of y'all doing it? Because seriously, you guys are great individuals.
Oh, thank you.
And don't start
That's
crying and all,
touching.
and like, but
Shit. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
All right, well, let's start from the top, Fatima. Where are you from? For the people that don't know,
for
where are you
that-
from?
people
my
that
For
lady?
the people that don't know, I'm from Morocco.
Okay.
Born
Hey.
and raised. Actually, I can't even say raised because I was there till like I was 10. But I always went back, so I kind of like stayed in my culture
No, you
a little
plugged
bit
in.
more.
Yeah, you go back pretty often, don't you?
Yes, I do. But my sister got married, and then my cousin got married. So every time someone gets married, I'm like, oh, let's go to Morocco. Just kidding. I do miss my family a lot. Like you guys are so blessed, to, like have cousins around and all of that. Like, I have
I
here.
don't got that much.
I understand what you're saying, because I relate to that feeling. My cousin, I don't
like,
have much family.
You know, it's literally. I mean, my parents and my sisters, which is great, but I mean, like
Yeah.
I don't have my aunts and uncles and
Yeah.
grandparents, and
Right.
you don't see them more often. You know, like
Nah.
I lost my grandpa and I didn't see him for 2 years, and I think that was like one of the most like hurtful things ever, because you don't realize that you're out here living, and then people are getting older.
Yeah.
And, you know, you kind of forget that, and that really like broke my heart for real. I was
Dude.
like, damn.
When did he pass?
He passed last December.
I'm sorry,
Sorry.
to hear that.
Right
man.
around my
sorry.
finals too. I'll never forget that.
It's
Jeez.
crazy.
Yeah, like literally, my parents didn't even want to tell me because I had finals. But for some odd reason, I get really like weird feelings when like things are going wrong, and I just had a feeling.
Like your instinct was telling
Yeah,
you something
like I
was
just
off.
Like
had
you
a
just
feeling.
felt something was
And then
wrong. Didn't know
and then I
exactly
called
what.
my mom, and I'm like, "Is Grandpa okay?" And it was. She like.
You
paused
knew it
and
was
she
Grandpa
didn't-
too? Like
yeah,
you
I
didn't
knew,
ask for it.
yeah.
That's
He was
crazy.
sick too, you know.
Oh, okay. So he's been
was-
sick for a while.
Yeah.
Or he was sick for a while.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, you also have to realize that like there's a good death and there's like a bad one. So like
Can you explain?
Yeah,
the
break that
good
down.
one is like, you know, they die peacefully. You
Okay.
get a certain age where you're like struggling to get up on your own. You're struggling to feed yourself. You're
Yeah.
struggling to shower, and it gets to a point where it's like, kind of, it's not over, but it's like it's all right. It's okay to, you know, kind of close your eyes and go to heaven. Like that's the way I look at it. It's a peaceful death.
You lived a
know?
good life.
Yeah, you lived a good life. You have grandchildren and this and that,
Yeah,
but
fair
when
enough.
it got really hard on him. Like he couldn't like get up and he couldn't do things on his own, and that's tough.
Yeah, it's not really a fulfilling life.
No, not at all.
Not at that point.
Yeah.
It's,
So
it's kind of crazy you say that too, and I hate to say this, but I've low-key been like telling myself like, yo, I need to actually appreciate, but overall just spend more time and like have more like time with my mom and my dad, just because like you said, they're just getting older, and before you know it, like shit's just gonna be whatever. We don't even need to go there, but yeah.
spend
So
time
like,
with your parents.
yeah,
I
man.
think
Yeah,
like a
that's the message for
very-
today. That's the
Have
vitamin of the day.
parents,
Spend time with your
Mama,
parents.
Papa.
Hell yeah.
And I'm like the craziest person to say that too, because I didn't talk to my parents we had a horrible relationship
Yeah.
growing up.
Word.
Like, I mean, it was
African parents are rough
horrible.
sometimes, man. We're all actually African, so shout out to that real quick.
But I remember that a little bit, and that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk about. Like, I wanted to talk about a little bit about your background, but I wanted to talk about you clashing with your parents coming up. Like,
Oh, it was so bad. I mean, it got to a point where it was so bad, guys. Like, now that I think about it, it was insane. Me and my mother fought all the time.
Yeah.
You know, they held like more of a secure structural lifespan, and I was like the one that was like, no,
You're
I'm
the
so
rebel.
curious, I want to know this, I want to do that. And I mean, I grew up with you guys, and you guys
Yeah.
were all had the freedom to like go out and do this and that, and you know, it was, I always kept missing things. Like I kept always missing the parties, the this, the that, and you hear about it the next day, and it's like, oh, my parents didn't let me go, like it sucks.
Shit,
Like,
I was
did you hear
kicked
about
out
that
those
night? Did you hear
weekends.
about that night?
And bro, honestly, I was like in the same boat as you. I didn't do too much.
We were
But I feel you growing up in Western culture, like
Yeah.
having African parents in Western culture, like a lot of these kids are running around doing a lot of shit that
A
we
whole lot.
didn't have the opportunity to do.
Yeah,
Like what? I
definitely.
mean, my
I
little
feel you.
sister's living her best life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Living her best life.
Honestly, the youngest children, they get it the easiest. Honestly, you probably know. Probably
Yeah,
Gabby
my
had it
sister
easier.
definitely.
Yeah, like my little
she
sister
still
had
gets
it way
spoiled
easy.
to this day.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of.
Oh, I know.
But why was that though? Like, why was it that you and your parents clashed so hard?
Like I said, honestly, I mean, they came from Morocco. They still had that like cultural, like strict, like, you know, this is what you kind of have to do. We just want to raise you well, and we want to raise you not sheltered, but like there's some things that we don't want you to be exposed to, you know, and there's some things that we want you to be exposed to. So it was a structural thing. I feel like it. I don't know.
Would it have been different if you were a boy?
Probably not.
No, you don't think
And
so?
I don't like. I hate when people say that too, just because like in Muslim countries, they're always like, oh, boys get like different treatment than like girls do or whatever. But in my household, I don't think so. I think my
That's
dad
good.
probably would have been even more hardcore with him probably, but no, my mom raised us all the same.
That's good.
But I felt different all the time.
Is that because you were the rebel?
Yep.
Well, that's
It was. It wasn't just like being a rebel. It was just like I said. I saw my friends all living their best lives, and I was just like always being held back. And then I started sneaking out in like high school.
I was just about to ask, like, did
Shout
that
out to
lead to
that.
you wilding out? Like,
Yeah,
do you
that's
feel like you
literally
had
when
a point in time where you're just going crazy a little bit?
I mean, the sneaking out, it was like here and there because I always get so scared of literally like coming out of my back door. Like, you know, I'm like, oh my God. I had like a cute little thing. My parents would go to sleep. I would like flush the toilet and I would like run down the stairs. So like the noise wouldn't make any noise.
So smart.
I had to always wear socks because the wood creaks so they wouldn't hear my foot. Oh, bro.
The
I was a
most.
pro. Like, it was serious. Yeah.
You gotta make it sometimes.
So then it got to a point where we just argued so much. My dad traveled to Morocco and a lot, and I started college, and they almost kind of chose what I wanted to do, and I think that like clashed with me as well because
What did they choose for you?
I mean, my mom was kind of like, you're gonna go to Nova and then you're gonna go to Mason, like pretty much what your sisters did, you know. It's
Gotcha.
good. You could live at home. You could live at home still in Mason, and I was like, no, like
yeah.
I want to like go out to college, and so I never
the
had a
experience.
college experience ever, like
Yeah.
because then I went into Mason and I was 23. Yeah, 22, 23. So, you know, people are like partying and I'm like, I'm too old for you. Like, absolutely not. I'm not going to go to these parties. Like, you know, no. And I grew up like way too fast. But so I lived with my parents and I moved out because I couldn't handle it. I mean, I straight up
When you were
walked
like
out.
20, is that when you were at Mason?
It
Like
was
22?
Yeah,
Okay.
22. Moved out of my parents' house because it was just too much fighting all the time. I started rebelling to the point that I started like going out and being like, I'm going out. I don't care what you say to me, okay? Like, I don't care.
I'm an adult. It's
Literally,
happening.
like, I work, I go to school, like, I'm a good person. I'm going out. And I just started rebelling, and it got to a point where I couldn't handle it. I just walked out.
Would you say that was like the worst point of your guys' relationship being?
Oh, yeah.
being
That was
rough?
like the peak of it. Like,
Yeah.
it was almost like my parents didn't understand, like, me. They were just like, why is this one child of ours just, like, going crazy? And, like, everyone else is, like,
Did your sisters not party or nothing?
angels. They did, but they like did it in a way that my parents never found out.
So they're just good at hiding it.
Yeah. And then me, I was always getting caught. Like my
Yeah.
mom would always like catch me. So then she always had eyes on me. 'Cause she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, so what you going to do next cuz I'm sure you're going to get caught." You know? So it's kind of crazy.
That's
But-
tough.
so then I moved out, and that was the worst thing ever. I didn't talk to my parents for like 7 months. 7 months.
What did you go to?
Imagine?
What did you go to school for?
Government, political science.
Oh yeah. That's what's up. What's
I hated
Did you
it.
want to? Or is that part of the plan? Your parents' plan?
Yeah, I think it
Part
was
of the
my
plan.
parents' plan. Honestly, I never really, I feel like I never like knew what was my calling because it was almost kind of like structured and like drilled in me. Like, this is what you're gonna do, and this is what you're gonna. Because now, if I could take back, I'd go back for like journalism, or
yeah.
writing,
Yeah.
or something along the lines of that.
Gotcha. Did you finish? Like, did you finish? You graduated and everything?
Yeah, I graduated on my own.
That's
Definitely. What?
Yeah.
What? If you only knew. I mean, you don't know. Just kidding.
Yeah.
It was a struggle,
But
right?
It was a really big struggle. I dropped out of college for a year. Because I just couldn't handle it. Like, I didn't have money. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I was like,
Yeah, it's hard. Like, you
what do I
had
do?
moved out at that point,
I
right?
moved out, yeah.
So
And I mean,
it's a lot.
my friend gave me a room in her place, which was really nice of her. And pretty much started my life from scratch. I had no clothes. I mean, I moved out with no clothes.
You didn't even take the clothes from your parents' crib?
Anything.
You're ready to go. That's it.
Nothing. I literally had a bag, and it literally had like 3 pairs of pants and like a couple shirts in my makeup bag.
That's crazy.
And some underwear, of course.
Yeah.
So then I think I started, like, I missed school so much. I was like, what are you doing? Because after I left, I was like going crazy. I was like, oh my God, freedom. Like, what can I do?
For sure.
And that's when I came and saw you at JMU.
Yeah, that was my crazy time too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's when I was like, oh
I
my
can
God,
dig
let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. But it was good. I feel like I had to like get it out of me completely. But then I started being like, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. I need to prove my parents wrong. Like, like I'm a good person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I need to like show them that like I moved out because I hated the way they were so like hard on me and like.
But you knew what you were doing at the same time.
You know? So,
Yeah.
but I was like, I need to get back to school. I need
Right.
to finish my degree. I need to do that because school was huge for my parents. Like, education is number one thing for my dad. Which is for everyone.
Any
Should
African
be.
dads specifically, honestly.
Everyone should be educated
Yeah.
in one form or another. And I mean, and not just school, educate yourself in books.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
in
you can find
blogs,
online
like,
classes for like $20. So like,
yeah, just learn. Like, you know, just have something to talk about when you sit down. That's the way I look at it, you know?
Yeah.
And something actually meaningful, like not like celebrity gossip. I can't stand when people
No, you don't like that type of small talk? We
I
don't want to talk about
21 Savage?
Kendall Jenner or something today?
No, it's like about Kylie. I love Kylie. I'm kidding.
I was like, yo, that switched real quick.
No, absolutely not. So then I was working whack jobs, retail jobs. It was horrible. Making stupid money. Like, started thrift shopping because I didn't have clothes. So I literally was like, I need to, like, you know, but I still killed it. Still killed the game with thrift shopping.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I
Fucking,
never
Macklemore.
looked at thrift shopping the way I do now. Like,
Yeah.
back in the day, I was like, no, why would I wear something that like a bunch
Somebody
of people
else wore?
And like now they're selling it for like $2. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. And then here I am.
Low-key
Bro,
find-
it's
low-key
a rags.
find-
It's a come up, man. My mom used to thrift shop, and I think she still does. But like, I remember she found like Gucci like pants for like $7 or something.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
at the
I mean-
joint in Sterling. I was like,
Yeah, it's serious now,
a come
especially
up.
in New York.
I
New
mean-
York thrift shopping is the best. You could literally find like name brands and all of that, and like
believe it.
vintage. Now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. That's become like a thing too, like reselling and people just thrift shop
reselling
to
is
resell.
huge.
Yeah.
Opening up their own shops of like thrift shopping.
Like
things
Round
that they
2, man.
find.
Shout out to Round 2. They doing some
Yeah.
crazy shit. They're like all over. They have
All over now. That's
store in
insane.
every major
We need
city.
to open one here.
in like Nova.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought there was it's Richmond and what?
There's one in Richmond, there's one in Miami, there's one in LA,
LA.
and New York.
Okay.
They're all over
Shit.
now, man.
I thought
Shout out
there
to
was only
Sean,
two.
man.
That's what's up, dude. But yeah, honestly, back to you. So, finding your voice and finding yourself, like that's the stage that you were in at this point, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it was kind of it was all up to me. It was
Okay.
like, what are you doing? Like, you have to survive. So I don't know. I had a lot of downtimes, a lot of sadness and depression and anxiety and times where I was just like, what the fuck am I doing with myself? What am
Yeah.
I doing with my life? I felt like I had no one like to have my back to even begin with. Like, your friends were there for you, but your friends didn't understand what I was going through.
No,
you know,
yeah,
like
they can never.
I disconnected from my family. I was with them like for, the whole, like I was sheltered and like
Yeah.
now I have no family. I barely have any money. I have no clothes. Like, I can barely afford food. Like, I literally went from like 100 to like 0, like real quick. But I realized that, doesn't matter what you're wearing. It's not about the name brands or whatever you're wearing. It's about what you got in your heart. It's about pride. It's about what you got in your mind. And that's
so
my
dope you say that.
personality got me everywhere, for real.
That's really
So
dope
that
you
will
say
help
that,
you get you
man.
through.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Strength and not giving up on myself. I never give up on myself.
Good.
Even times where I literally was suicidal. I mean, it got to a point where I literally did not know what the hell I was going to do with myself. But I never give up on myself. And now that I look back, I'm like, whew, thank God you didn't give up on yourself. I'm just kidding. But seriously, then I moved out. I moved to Ashburn. Then I started school, got a new job in Tyson's. Then I moved to Reston. Then I started school. I was like, oh, I gotta get back to school, which was really nice. But it was so hard because I was out of the mix for like, a year and a half just about. But I did it. I had to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, catch the bus at 6 a.m. to get to Mason. It was like 2 hours for no reason because the lines are just like so ridiculous. But Uber back there was like not really that serious. And I can't be affording Uber, the whole time. I'm like $30 here, $30 here, like absolutely
that shit
not.
adds up.
But I did it. I woke up every morning. What got me through was music.
Yeah.
I think what gets me through all the time is music. Every time I feel some type of way, I'm just like, you know what? Let me just put on my playlist and feel some type of way. Seriously.
I need to give you some pats for that because that's what's up. Like you willed yourself to do it. Like,
yeah, of course.
You went from that dark place. Like,
yep.
You found that strength, got your ass to school after not being in school, which is fucking hard. Like, people don't understand. Like, if you're not in school continuously, that shit is hard. That's what's up. So, at this point, what's going on with you?
Now I finally moved around the city, Arlington, which I'm kind of like happy about just because I love the city. I'm a city girl. I'm writing. I'm back into my writing state. I just came back from my country, Morocco.
At what point did you actually start writing?
Oh, when I was probably 7th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah, was it just like journaling or what type of writing were you doing earlier? It was
really dark, sad, emotional thoughts.
Do you still have some of that stuff?
I wish. I think my parents do, though.
Yeah.
It'd be sad if they read it. They'd be like, this girl's crazy. Like, why is she sitting here writing about these things? I mean, it was literally, like, it was very sad. It was, I mean, everything that I wrote, like, I can't stop crying. Like, things like that. That's how I started, honestly. Mm-hmm. I just started writing all my emotions down because I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody. I can, and back then I remember, like, I was telling some girl that, like, I was down and like sad and depressed, and like she like went to like the counselor and she was like, she's suicidal. And
wow.
Yeah,
that's
and
crazy.
they called my mom, and my mom was like, what? My parents, and cultural forms, they don't understand what depression is.
Yeah,
they don't understand
a lot of different cultures
like,
don't.
They really don't at all, which is, mental health is a huge thing. And in foreign countries, I feel like they close the door on it so much just because they don't really understand it, or they're just kind of like, no, get up, do it.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's not a real thing to them.
Because, I mean, honestly, like our parents dealt with so much shit that they didn't have time to relax and to think about to feel it. Yeah, like afterwards, like I talked to my mom, have conversations with my mom, and she's like, there's a lot of shit that I went through that fucking hurt, but like I kept it moving because I had to.
Yep.
Like I feel like sometimes I do feel like a little bitch, like because
compared to what they went through,
because
right.
like foreign parents are G's, like
Yeah.
they do the most for us. And honestly, like at the state that we are, like we have to actually sit back and think about these things, like our mental health and how it's going to affect the people around us, how it's going to affect our own lives, because we aren't where they were. Like, thank God for them getting us to where we are now, but we have to take some time to
Mom and Papa.
Yeah, for real, but we have to take some time to talk about that. So
I think that is important, man. There is like a gap of that conversation where the staying aware of your mental health, but also like staying strong and fighting. You know what I mean?
You have to. We're survivors.
Yeah.
You gotta keep going. I mean, no one's gonna hand you a trophy or a winning ticket, so you need to go grab it. I hate those people that just think that things are just, hey, there are those lucky ones that get things handed to them on a silver platter, and they're just like, oh, bam, I got it. But
I wouldn't say that they're lucky. Like I feel bad for those people the most, because if they don't know what the struggle is,
you're right.
Then when they get that, they're gonna lose it.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Or it just like somehow backfires later on. They don't know how to work to get something else. So they'll just keep expecting things to be handed to them instead of actually knowing how to put some work in to do shit.
I struggled like to the point that like now me and my parents are great than ever. Like we get along so well. Like me and my mom, it's really crazy.
That's what's up though.
I actually like talk to her about like mental health and like, and she went through a lot. And I think just like now it's at the point where we're older, and I think she feels more comfortable talking to me about it because I think she understands me. And I am so like my mom with all our emotions and everything that I understand her on like a deeper level. My sisters don't. I feel like I do.
Probably because of all the shit that you guys went through, like all the bad shit.
And me and her clashed because we were so alike.
Yeah.
You know, like they say, like mothers and daughters
Yeah.
were so alike, they'll like clash. Mentally, we were very alike. And I mean, my mom is like a feeler. Like when she feels, she feels. Like she always knew when like something was going wrong. And like I get that from her. It's insane.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is any of your family like involved in your writing? Do any of them like give you advice? Do you reach out to them for feedback on anything?
No.
Are they inspiration for your writing though? Like, do you feel like they kind of pop up like in your writing, like the way that they made you feel or things like that?
Have you made a mom poem yet? Is there a mom poem out there?
No, I've written about my parents in my poems. Like lines like, you know, my like struggles, what made me, but like my parents kind of raised me to be like strong. Like honestly,
yeah.
I don't think now looking back, that stage where I was like, oh, my parents, I'm gonna do this on my own. Now when I look back, like I wouldn't been able to survive if I was not raised the way they raised me, to be honest with you. Like just life skills and different things that my dad used to be such how do you say that, like constantly telling you stories, like, you know, this is how you should do it, my dad is a genius. It's insane in every aspect. I mean, education or just like articles, or you literally tell him a country and he'll literally tell you your entire life story. Like this is the king, this is what happened, and like this, and I'm like, damn, like
that's what's up.
That's crazy.
Yeah, super informative.
Yeah, very informative. And you know, sometimes you just gotta shut the fuck up and listen.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you're around older people, man.
Yeah.
You'll gain so much knowledge just from just sitting around them and listening to the conversations.
Yeah, so I mean, they taught me a lot. Right. I wouldn't be the person that I am if I think I had to have that struggle, that period where I was pretty much pushed to the ground, stepped on. I mean, I didn't even know who my true friends were. I mean, I was literally like in a point in my life where I was just like, what is life anymore?
Right.
But here I am.
Were you writing still throughout that entire time?
Yeah.
So has writing been something that's a huge for your life?
Yeah, I've always written. Okay. All the time. I mean, sometimes I'll open my phone up and start writing.
Yeah.
I have notebooks everywhere. My laptop, just I write anything that I feel as like poetry form, or like a paragraph, or like someone that I met that intrigued me and had a great conversation with. I write it down.
I've recently discovered like the power of writing, man. That shit really does a lot. Even with like goals and stuff, just like writing a goal down on a piece of paper can really like excel or accelerate. Yeah, just like how close you get to that goal and shit.
Yeah,
personally, that's putting it out there in the universe, man.
No, it's true. I used to write like sticky notes. I used to write like little things for myself, like get up, you got this, like anxiety, like things like that. And I'll just put them around my room.
That's what's up.
And they just kind of like helped me like wake up sometimes in the morning.
Oh yeah, that's a nice little surprise too. Like I can imagine like you come home from like a shitty day, and then like you have a post-it note like that you wrote yourself, like anxiety, like you're gonna have a great day. You come home, you see that shit. Sometimes you might be like, yo, why the did I write that? Like you might be mad, but it's like it's nice to have though. It's like a reminder.
Right,
it can be a good reminder.
Yeah. Door too. I have literally like I'm gonna be like a well-known poet. So every time I walk out of my door, that's what I read.
That's what's up.
Every time.
That's fire.
It's what you put in your mind, really, that like, you know, you could literally make anything happen.
100%.
Anything.
100%.
And that's what I like been realizing. You could literally, whatever you want, make it happen.
Yeah.
That's a fact. 1000%.
So, you've always been writing, but when did you discover that, like, or when did you feel that like writing was something that you wanted to do as, I don't know, like something more, like something to maybe propel you to the next level? Like, cause like you said, you want to be a famous poet. Like when did that come about?
I think it was probably like beginning college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you feel that?
18, 17. Because that's when I really found my touch with like my words. I don't like how I write is like different from other writers, of course, but I just realized like this is what I like to do. Actually, this makes me feel better, and like I go back and like read it, and I'm like, damn, I wrote this. Like, and it got to a point where I would sit down, I'd start typing, and almost like my mind, like I would like almost get blindsided. Like it was tunnel vision, and like my fingers would just be like typing, and it would just like my emotions and my fingers and my mind were like connected, but like I didn't know what I was doing, but I was typing, and then I'd go back and I'm like, whoa, I wrote that. And then when I got in like a serious heartbreak, I think that like really put me down. I started like really writing about like love and relationships and like heartbreak and I think that's where I found my voice.
So when you started journaling in 7th grade, were you on the poetry then, or was it like a period after that? Did you fall into poetry? Like, how did you stumble?
No, I wasn't. I kind of grew up. I mean, my sisters always read books, so I kind of like grew up kind of channeling different like authors and different things to read and different blogs, and I was always curious. Like, I think that's like what put me to where I am today. Like, I always was curious. I always wanted to know about things, so I just researched all the time, blogs, this, that, and I started realizing how much I loved poetry. I mean, it's literally like whatever paragraph, long page, 3 sentences, like it really hits the spot. If you understand it the way you should understand it, it really hits the spot. I mean, Langston Hughes, we grew up like, learning about poets, like old poets, and I think people don't appreciate it so much. Like,
low key, I low key wanted to be like a deep ass poet too. I used to write and shit, but it was always some corny ass cheesy shit.
But I mean, it's practice. It really is. I mean, I started writing literally like, I hate my life, being like sad as shit. And now I could definitely say that I've very well rounded to a concept that I can actually write something and give it to you, and you would be like, whoa.
Are you focusing on like any type of themes right now, or you just write about whatever's going on?
I think coming out of a struggle.
Okay.
I wanted to like put out a book, but I realized I was writing so much about heartbreak that I did not want to like voice myself around just that, because that was just part of my life, And people
Just
always like, where's your book? Where's your book? Like, you always, and I'm like, it's, writing, I get into months sometimes without writing because I don't know, especially when I'm like feeling like really like bad or whatever. Sometimes I write, but there are times where I'm just blank. Like, I literally have writer's block. I'm like, Fatima, just write, and I just can't. And then there are times where I'm literally writing every single morning. Every morning when I wake up, or every night. I'm a night person, so I just love writing at night. Oh my god, like 2:00 in the morning.
Same way.
Like, just good music, vibing, like
hell yeah.
Glass red wine,
candles and shit.
I think you're a confident person.
Yeah.
But you said that you have struggles with that. When did you decide that it was cool for people to start knowing, like, or seeing your writing, or knowing that you're a writer?
I think little by little, I would like put out a poem here and there, and then people would be like, "Oh my god, like this is so good." And it's like, "Oh,
like, who wrote this type shit?"
And it sucks because you don't need validation from someone else, and I think that's where I'm struggling for right now. That I feel like I need to be validated by other people to tell me that my work is good for me to actually feel confident in myself. But in reality, I should be like, "No, I know this shit is good. I'm gonna put it out because I know this shit is fire. Like, I just know, But I'm still trying to find my voice in that concept. So
with the book you mentioned, is that going to be like an autobiography type of book, or what is it?
I think it's going to be like a just journey through everything.
Okay,
it's going to be
like a storytelling type of thing.
It's going to be. I want to be able to like wow the person when like they grab the book.
Yeah. Is it going to be like cohesive, like you read it beginning to end, or is it like you can just jump in?
That's what I want.
Okay.
I mean, you can jump in because it's like different poems, but I want you to literally, when you read the first one, you're like, I need to read the second one. Whoa, that's so different. I need to read the third one. Like,
I got you.
And it's not just like, oh, let me read a poem and put it down. No, I want you to literally read the whole thing in one sitting, because you couldn't take away from my words. You couldn't like step away from that. Like, it touched you in so many. I want to move you. I literally want to move you. Every single emotion in your body, I want it to move. I literally want to make you cry, or feel some type of way about heartbreak, or feel some type of way about coming out of a journey, or power, strength, like parents, anything.
What percentage would you say you have done so far, if you could put a number on it?
67.
Oh, that's what's up though.
Honestly,
that's what's up though. That's far along.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna push it right now. I'm not gonna push it right now. I was gonna say, when's it coming out, but everybody's asking you.
I think it's like one of those things where it's, when it's ready, it's ready.
Yeah. Sure.
I'm not gonna force it. I'm not gonna be like, I'm giving myself a deadline. Of course, you do have to give yourself a deadline. They're goals. I do have them. I do have my goals. I put them in my mind, but.
It can be discouraging sometimes though when you set dates and then something comes up and you don't meet that date or whatever.
It's like writer's block sometimes. So I could literally put myself, I'd be like, okay, the book is gonna come out in June, and then literally the next 3 months I can't write, or the next 2 months, or something happens in my life that just. But I am promising myself now. Like, I wake up in the morning like a little bit early during the week. And I write. I mean, anything. I just write how I feel, my dreams, how it's today, what I want to prosper. Just write.
And that's what's up, because you have like a regular 9 to 5 job. So to get up, you have to get up a little bit earlier in order to write. So that's what I love about passion. Like when you're passionate about something, you can always find the time. Like people like to find excuses, but if you're passionate, you can find the time.
You could definitely find the time. And honestly, I kind of read it in a blog about this guy that was a writer. And he used to wake up every single morning at 5 a.m. and he would just write till about like 8, and then take a shower, get ready for work, and go home.
Yeah.
And that just started his day like so well. And you hear so many things about successful people waking up super early and getting their day started like super early, and it's true. Like it really, the early bird gets the worm.
Yeah.
That's a really true fact, honestly.
And it's a lot better to start your day like awake than like, you know, like actually being awake, like actually having moved around or done something or stimulated your mind, versus like waking up like groggy, hop in the shower, then you get to work and you're like blown. Yeah. But anyway, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is Teemers. Like I see the Teemers
Hold
stickers.
on, I actually got a question. Before we move on to that, I want to ask you, what was some of the things that helped you? Have you noticed anything that helped you get out of those writer's block? Was there anything that like would super inspire you? You know, you said music touched you a lot.
Music, I would read. I would read like different. I would listen to podcasts. I would listen to like writers, how to get out of like writer's block. Like I mean anything like that. You know, how to, you know, inspire yourself. I would try to inspire myself with anything. People, I socialize. I talk to people who actually have shit to say, not just, you know.
Yeah. So I know for me, like sometimes I definitely get like creative blocks with what I want to do with editing or something like that, and just watching other videos, watching other like
start blogging or just like start looking up blogs. I mean, literally the internet is, I wish we had it so much the way we do now. Like kids have so much advantage of the
access
internet.
to information.
Like, access to information. Like these people should be geniuses growing up. Like you literally could Google anything and learn about it. YouTube videos, like my job now, because I mean I've never been in a position that I am, like, you know, so I'm still kind of like learning, but I don't want to be looking like that dumbass that doesn't know what they're doing. Like this girl just got this position, like she just saw YouTube everything, literally how to do this, how to write this, how to do this, you know. And I literally taught myself so much with that.
I still have so much more to go to, but everything I'm doing now is from YouTube, and
from
you
YouTube,
can learn
man.
everything from
I mean,
that shit.
people are out there trying to teach other people whatever you're trying to learn.
Yeah, for free.
For free.
But my bad, Danny. What was your question?
Oh yeah, so
Teemers?
I'm talking about Teemers. Yeah. Like, is that your alias? Is that your writing alias?
Yeah.
Like, is that
you know who came up with that, right?
Who?
Jeff Bailey.
Hey.
Shout out Jeff Bailey.
Shout out
Seventh
Jeff
grade.
Bailey. Shout out
Gave me
Fruit
that
Studios.
nickname. Literally called me Teemers. And after that, everybody started calling me Teemers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need my sticker,
not,
by the way.
It's not just the alias. It's your nickname too.
it's
That's
my
what people
nickname.
call you.
Yeah, Teemers.
Gotcha.
Everybody calls me Teemers.
That's what's up.
Where you been?
I just call you Fatima. Fake hack.
I honestly, it's really weird for me to hear my Fatima name, because it's always either Tima or Teems or Teemers.
Yeah.
Like people really don't say Fatima anymore. Like I mean, that's not really even my name. You know that, right?
Oh, okay. But yeah, nah. So what's up with the stickers though?
I need
What's up with
mine.
those stickers? Like I've seen
I'm
those
waiting on
Teemer
mine.
stickers that you've been. What's up with
Actually,
those?
that's on my bag.
Like,
Word?
yeah.
I got you.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what's up.
please. We want to
But
grab
yeah,
a
what's up with
couple.
those? Like, are you just sticking those around, like just to like bring awareness to Teemers, to who you are? Okay,
It's like a
Gotcha.
marketing
Kind
idea.
of marketing span. And I mean, it's literally doesn't have my information or my Instagram or nothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
just like a
literally
what is
Teemers,
this?
and then
Like-
I have like poet like underneath it.
I
And
think
then
I saw that Busboys or something. The John DC.
I mean, I put them everywhere I go. I mean, New York, traveling. I put them everywhere in Morocco. I mean, it's kind of cool.
Damn, they're in Morocco too? That's fire.
You leave a trace
That's
everywhere
so
you
fire.
go. And it's funny because people always are texting me. Like they'll take a picture and be like, I love this.
That's
and
what's up.
that's awesome. It's like awareness. Like, oh my God, y'all thought about me.
That's
Got my
cool.
sticker. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
What made you think of that? Where'd you get that idea from?
Going out in DC, you see stickers everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's the way people like kind of market their things. And I literally was like, this is so cool. Like I think I saw somebody like handing out like stickers with like what they were doing or whatever, and I was like, this is such a cool idea. So I was like, let me just try this out. And so I did. Like I think I did like my first like 50, but they were different. So it was just like Teemers, and I used to go through this little, I don't know how to say it, but it was a place where Tupac and Buddha meet. It was kind of like what I went with for some odd reason, but that's what I wrote in my sticker.
Oh, it was like a
People would
slogan or
always-
something?
Yeah.
Okay,
my
okay.
slogan. That's the word.
Okay.
Woo, I was like, what was it? My slogan, a place where Tupac and Buddha meet.
Gotcha.
Just
That's
because
fire.
I'm like a thug, but I'm also like
Very peaceful.
Yes, spiritual.
Word.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I
Davey's
see you.
like, what the hell?
Who
are you?
Super,
I'm
super
just
thug.
kidding.
Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Just kidding. So yeah. So then after that, I remember I got like a email with like they're doing promotion with like stickers, and I was like, hey, why not? They were like doing like a bulk, like you buy like literally 250 for like $50.
Wow, that's
no,
a
I
deal.
think it's 500 for $50, and I was like, oh, cha-ching.
Yeah.
And just like made the Teemers, and now I literally have so many stickers. I just pass them out. People even ask me, they're like, can you give me a sticker? Can you give me some?
You have to get
I
a stamp
definitely
up
put a
here,
request
man.
in.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
y'all.
you gotta have something up here.
Yeah, y'all should get one too.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
definitely about to
definitely,
get some
for
for the
sure.
brand. Yeah, it's definitely
really cool because
definitely
especially
on
the
the
people
list.
that know you too. You know, they'll just go anywhere and they're just like, oh, that's my boy.
yeah, hell yeah. It's perfect marketing. It's a great ass marketing
Yeah.
idea. But what's your spirituality like? Are you religious? Are you actually Muslim or do
I am.
you?
Are you actually Muslim?
Well, I don't know cause like
Are you actually?
Are you 100%?
because I know your family is, but some people
Um,
don't actually stick to it. You know,
No,
some
I
people
am.
grow and change.
I actually love my religion. To
Word.
be honest with you, I wish I could practice it a little bit more, but I'm definitely in tune with God because I feel like I would not be anywhere. I feel like God blessed me because there are situations that I was in that I have no idea how I got out, and that was God. It really was. Like I feel blessed because I feel like God continues to like show me things that like I try to close the door off, and He's literally like, no, I'm gonna take you here, and I'm gonna show you this. Like, you know, smoking weed. I feel like that book had to close. That like I started getting anxiety from it to the point that it was like, you're gonna keep doing this. You're gonna keep doing this, you know.
Yeah.
So,
There's like a little joke that says, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
yeah, I actually definitely heard that. That's so funny. I pray all the time. I mean, every single morning I wake up and I thank God for what I have because at one point I never had anything. You know, I went from, like I said, having everything to nothing, and you could lose things at any moment.
Right.
And things are just things. I think that's something else I realized, but I thank him for like my food because at one point I didn't have food, you know, for the clothes I'm wearing, for my legs that are working. Like we are so like blessed, and I think people don't understand that because they're so focused on like, I need to have this and I need to get here and I need to do this. Like, well, you should just be thankful that you're able to go over there with your two legs, or you know what I mean. And I'm so blessed that I can see. Like, imagine if we can't see, like the little things that like I feel like we don't appreciate, and they are a lot. Imagine if you can't hear. Like, if I can't hear music, like what? Like, that's crazy. I don't know where I would be. Imagine if you can't touch. Like, just it's the littlest thing.
Nah,
so,
yo, I randomly think about that shit all the time, and it sucks, dude. It's
and
like,
I mean, it's nice. Just, you know, like
I'm on the same wave as you. Like every now and then I'll thank God, I'll thank the universe, whatever it is, for all that I have. Like even down to the littlest things.
Yeah,
like
the
because it's
littlest
like
things.
your thumb. Losing your thumb would change your whole life if you lost
Exactly.
that shit. And it's the
I mean,
littlest
we're
thing.
blessed. Like, look at us. You're healthy. You wake up in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have a good head on your shoulders. You're kind. You're genuine. You know, you're respectful.
Breathing.
Exactly.
You're
On
breathing
your
in air.
own.
Like that
Yeah.
to me. Like that's the most important.
Yeah.
I am breathing. If I'm breathing, then I can do whatever else that needs to be done.
Exactly. Which
So
is-
it sounds like your religion and your spiritual beliefs has a lot of impact on your writing. You'd say, right?
yeah, I know. I try to like kind of I think religion for me, depending. I mean,
Like
I
your
do
faith.
talk
Your
about
faith
it.
has a
I
lot
do
to
talk
do
about my
with it.
faith sometimes in like my poems and stuff. Like, I feel like, you know, the angels got me. I really do. Like, to be honest with you. But
Do you look up to any other Muslim writers like Rumi or any other?
I do. I love Rumi. I think Rumi's awesome. But Rumi as well kind of did not incorporate like religion into his writing so much.
Oh, no.
So.
Word. Are
Do
there
you
any?
have-
Go
go
ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you have like a favorite author, favorite writer, favorite poet?
Oh my God. No.
No?
I don't.
No?
No. A
Wow, I'm so
favorite one?
surprised, yeah.
No, I don't.
I feel you though. Like,
Honestly.
that makes sense.
Like, it's like saying, what's your favorite song? What? I
No
can't-
Woman No Cry, Bob Marley, bro.
Oh my God.
That's what's up. Like
Wow,
that's what's, I don't have a favorite. Like I
don't.
can't say like favorite anything. Like I just love stuff too much.
Yeah,
like,
me
I'm
too.
I'm
Like, there's
absorbed
so
in
many-
it.
I
mean,
feel that too, though.
I
feel
do have
that
a
too.
favorite book that like I think I read it about like 10 times.
Word,
In my
so what's the
life,
favorite book?
Alchemist.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I haven't read that one
Okay.
yet.
That's yeah.
I've
It's
heard
on
a
the
lot
list.
about it, though,
It's
yeah.
on
You
the
haven't
list.
read it?
Same.
Oh my God, it's a great book. It's a really
Give
good
us a
book.
rundown of like a quick summary of that book. Like,
No.
what is it? Come
It's gonna
on.
ruin everything.
Yeah,
Just a
no
quick
spoilers.
Yeah,
No
I'm not
spoilers.
spoiling it. I think it's honestly you should just. It's a guy that travels through a journey and learns different life hacks and rules
Okay.
through different people. That's
Gotcha.
what
I
Do you have a favorite poet though?
favorite poet. Honestly, it's kind of crazy because I have poets people who don't know about them. Like they're like,
yeah, sure.
You know, like
Yeah, shout them out. They might be watching.
Prince John Doe.
Okay.
That's what he goes by his Instagram. I really don't know his name. God, I wish I did. But
Okay.
he's awesome. He's so awesome. I hope you make it. I don't know. I just went blank.
What is making it for a writer? Would you say like what would be like the
Having a platform
success?
of people actually really reading your things. Like, you know, I mean, Rupee. Have you guys heard of Rupee?
Wow, that happens so often. RUPI, right?
Rupee, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've seen the name around. It
Yeah,
sounds pretty familiar.
She literally like came out of like nowhere,
Yeah.
and she is blowing up. It's crazy. I mean, she sold like 2 million copies of her Milk and Honey book. Like, it's insane. And it's crazy because it's gotten to the
that
point.
is a really familiar name.
Yeah, Milk and Honey. I mean, you probably see it everywhere.
Yeah, I'm
because,
pretty
you
sure
know,
I have.
But it kind of makes me upset because poetry is kind of like losing its deepness. I feel like people are like, "Oh, the sky is blue, and I feel blue."
Are people like selling out to
And
get
that's
deals?
and that's
Is that
what's
how
like,
you
you
feel?
know, selling. And it's like that's not what poetry is. Like, I miss old poetry that you have to read a poem like 50 times for you to actually
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
serious.
yeah,
Do you
nice.
remember like
Yeah.
back in the day when like they would give us like a poem and every single line we would have to like save it's like a metaphor, like a simile, and
Still to this day, like
Yeah.
I'll be reading some Maya Angelou and being like, all right, let me read this shit again.
Yeah.
Damn, let me read this shit again.
And honestly, that's how my poetry is. You literally have to read it like 3 times for you to understand every single line is an emotion. It's not just the whole thing. It's every line is like a different emotion. And I feel it's kind of like it's nice that, you know, we as poets have more of a platform versus social media and like all these things to kind of like try to like put our things out. But people love basic shit.
Yeah.
It's
Well, yeah, I
2019,
mean, yeah, people, yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's the same way with music. Like, people just want something that they can,
Mainstream.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
vibe to, I guess. So,
Yeah.
like, if they can, like, read it once and understand it, that's cool for them. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really want to digest it.
No.
Yeah,
So-
people want to digest simpler content right now. They just want to hear it, and then if it sounds good, it sounds good. They don't want to think too much about it or any of that. But do you have your own, like a favorite bar or favorite poem or favorite line of your own that you?
Of my own?
Yeah.
I probably do.
Can you think of one?
Oh, no, not on top of my head.
All right, think of one. If it comes
like,
to you,
as
let us
we're
know.
going on.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
becomes- okay.
I want to hear that bar because I know you got some heat.
Spit bars.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Big facts.
Put a beat.
Like,
I got
honestly,
you.
I didn't realize, for the longest time, I didn't realize that your stories were your own poetry. For
Oh,
the
wow.
longest time, I didn't realize that. And then
Okay,
I was
so-
like, wait, hold on.
So the funny thing is, this is what I started doing. I kind of did it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would put things out and I wouldn't sign them under my name. I would put Fatima. You would never know.
Right.
And people would be like reposting my shit without like my name underneath it.
That's mad
And
funny.
It was kind of like funny because it's like you see like I don't know, it was a weird way. It was like you see who supports you and you see who like it was weird. It
but
really was.
almost to the point, like, the fact that you say that, like, I feel like if you would have signed it, some of those people wouldn't have reposted it.
It's crazy,
Exactly.
man.
Like,
It's
like
crazy,
they
dude.
like yeah, they might be friends or like they actually are friends, but like feel like sometimes like people don't really support your move
Yeah.
until like it's at a certain point.
Yep.
But the fact that you didn't put your name on it and it was deep and they resonated with
Yeah.
it, they're like, oh, I'm definitely gonna post this.
Yep.
But if they would have saw the Teema or Teemers, they might
Yeah.
have been like, I'm gonna hold off.
Yeah, you probably don't know this, but I have a separate Instagram account.
Oh,
Do you really?
what?
And no one is my friend that I know.
Keep it on the low, like
It's
keep it on the low.
Oh,
low.
I'm not
Like,
gonna.
this
I'm
is
not
a
gonna say it
secret.
because you'll
This
not
is
be
a
able to. It
secret.
is like nobody that I know follows me on there.
That's what's
Nobody,
up.
and that's something that I can actually show my poetry out. And
That's what's up.
Kind of
Wow.
Not feel. Yeah.
I'm
and I
finding it.
I gotta
I'm
believe
about to
I'm
be a
not gonna
sleuth
able
and
to.
fucking
I don't even
find
follow my
it.
own self because I'm
Nice,
scared
nice.
people are gonna be like, oh, followed by Teemers, maybe, you know.
Yeah.
And it's got like a. I had at first it was my name Teemers, and then I was
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck no, people are gonna find me, absolutely not. But I mean, it's private. I think I got like 3,000 followers.
Word?
what's up.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. Shout out to
But,
you.
Big dope.
Who
Man.
gives a shit about followers though? For real.
Low key, I care too much.
Yeah, you really do, bro.
This nigga's at like 10K right now. I'm counting the numbers.
Yo, you are hyping up. Shout out to you though.
Shout out to Strong Black
appreciate
Fathers,
that.
man.
Seriously, on what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing. Like I think it's such a beautiful movement. Like
Thank you.
straight up, like beautiful
very
person to
needed.
beautiful person.
Word.
Like,
But we're here
I
talking
really
about
do.
you. I don't like talking about myself anyway. So back to you.
Hey, I'm
So-
still learning, and I learn every single day how to self-love myself and how to love myself. Literally, like I just
Yeah.
actually downloaded an app, and it's like a self-love app or whatever.
Word.
And like you,
What's that?
let's see,
Oh, my
real
bad.
quick, so y'all could know
My bad,
because
my
it's
bad.
actually really, really cool. It's called Sanity and Self.
Sanity and
Yeah.
self.
And it's really cool. And like you pick a time where you do it's me time. So around 7 p.m., like the thing goes up and it's like, it's me time. So you
tight.
literally just like
That's
do
super
something
tight.
for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and they
So-
have a bunch of like podcasts and like videos of like self love and like body image. If you like struggle with this, if you struggle with that. And like you think I'm like so confident and like social butterfly, but you have no idea. Like deep down, it's kind of, I've been faking it to make it, to be honest. It's kind of like, just do it, just do it, just
Yeah.
do it, just
Has
do
that
it.
been helping you or hurting you? Do you feel?
I think it's been helping me
Okay.
a lot. Pretending that I'm so confident has helped me
Okay.
become confident.
I guess definitely that. But I guess what I meant is just like because you said like faking the confidence of like being around a whole bunch of people. Like,
Yeah.
do you feel like that takes away from what you have inside, always being around people?
You have to be around the right people.
Gotcha.
I think that's what I'm like realizing. Even though like I go out all the time or whatever, I'm very particular about who I talk to. And I mean, people always are like, "Oh, she's such a bitch." Like she's such, and I don't care because I know what vultures like you do to people like me. You suck the soul out of me, and you just leave my cup completely empty versus refilling it.
Yeah.
You got to find those people that when my cup is empty, they gonna fill it up sometimes too.
Right.
Same vice versa. You teach and you learn from each other, you know? I mean, of course, you're going to meet those people that you're going to have to be a teacher to them, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't mind, but do not let them pause your, like, level up. Like,
Yeah.
don't let them, like, stop you for that, you know?
There's always an even exchange even exchange or balanced exchange in that shit.
That's where I'm
Yeah.
at right now.
Yeah.
I need that. Like, I really need, like, I need to teach you and you need to teach me. And I think that's what everything. Partners, relationships, friendships, just
100%.
everything.
Yeah,
you know?
and you touched on it earlier too, just kind of recognizing that your value was within, not outside and what you're wearing and the
Yep.
name brands and shit. Because I feel like, especially in the Nova area, like people are very driven on their money and their salary and shit. You know what I'm saying? And
I
it's
know,
it's so
trust me.
annoying.
There's
I mean, when this place got named one of the richest counties in the nation,
Yeah, Loudoun County.
that got into a lot of people's heads.
Definitely.
So yeah, like
and that's so sad.
oh yeah.
Like, oh my god.
But yeah, I
What?
mean, this is an expensive area too, so people do care a lot about money here.
Oh, I know. I mean, honestly, I kind of grew up around a culture that really does care about money. Like Morocco, like you have to be like tip top notch, like carrying around name brands so you can like look like you're somebody like important. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Literally, like this is who I am. I'm gonna walk in sweatpants and a sweatshirt, and you're still gonna respect me. I
Right.
don't care.
Especially at this time, like at this age or whatever, just this mental awareness. Like as a kid, I didn't feel that way. Like I was like, I wanted to have all the flashiest shit.
Yeah,
like I
of
wanted to have the
course.
nicest shit. But like you get older, you realize what's important,
Definitely. I mean, some people they don't.
or they
never
don't,
learn.
or they,
Yeah,
or they
exactly.
don't. That's okay though.
'Cause I know those-
Everybody's on their own time.
Exactly. And
Everybody's
you know
on their own
what?
journey.
You know what? You're just not for me. That's what I realized. If you're not for me, you know what? I send you love and I move away. Like that's literally it. Like it doesn't have to be like an issue or a problem where it's like, look, I realized that me and you do not resonate and make great soup.
Oh, no soup.
So please get out of my
I think that's the favorite bar right there. That's
Please
the
get out of my ingredient. No, seriously, like it's. I feel like life is like a bus, and you're the one driving the bus, right? Every time you stop, someone's gonna get in and someone's gonna get out, and you're just gonna keep driving though. You're just gonna keep driving
Damn,
to your
dude.
life. You're just
That's
gonna
so
keep
beautiful.
going.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's deep.
and I mean, there are some people that are gonna be riding in the bus for like
the whole time.
3
For a
years,
while, yeah.
4 years, 5 years, and they're gonna be like, all right, it's my time, and drop them off.
Damn.
Do not sit there and like,
Shit.
it's like when something that what's his name? Who's that rapper that said it the other day? He like posted about it and it like went viral. What comes for me? What was it?
Wasn't T.I. or nothing, was it?
No,
Was it J.
wasn't.
Cole?
It was J. Cole, yes.
Yeah,
and
I
it was
saw-
like
I
what's
know
for
what you're talking
me,
about. It's for
like
me,
like stays, and like what's not for me like goes. And I'm like completely at peace with that because
Okay.
it's true, you
Yeah.
know?
But honestly, I fuck with that saying because now, like, that to me, like, when you were saying that, like, I was thinking of, like, somebody who's ride or die, and that just takes it to a whole nother level. Like, I'm driving my bus. Are you ride or die? Like, are you going to be riding on this bus or what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or are you getting out? And I mean, and that's the thing. You meet different people. Different people are going to come inside the bus. Different people are going to get out the bus.
That's what's up.
But you're just gonna keep driving the bus. You don't stop. You never give up on yourself. You literally keep going. Of course, you're gonna pause and like get some food sometimes here and there. I'm just kidding. Drive through. We're never stopping.
Grab a backwood or
It's
two.
like my dad. He's like, you better go to the bathroom before this long trip. Like, what? We're not stopping.
That's hilarious. But we kind of talked about you quitting smoking and stuff. Like, was there a moment where you remembered like, yo, I'm officially done with this shit, or did it just kind of slowly fade
Yeah,
away?
when I literally like, I think I like smoked the J by myself, and I was just like, yo, why did I do this to myself? I hate how I feel. I'm so uncomfortable. Like, it was so bad, guys.
It's funny that you're laughing because I can only imagine that shit was not funny at
It was
all. Like
not
at the
funny.
time, like
No, dude, like I started like hyperventilating
I
and like I
believe
got
it.
chest pains and like it was really serious. And then it got to a point that every time I smoked, that's how I felt. And I think
Oh,
the
shit.
last time it was like, Fatima, when are you gonna get it?
Yeah, like, what the
you-
fuck?
like when are you gonna get it? Just
Yeah.
when? And that was like one of my last times I ever really just, you know, hey, I had fun with it. I did.
Yeah.
It definitely, you know, I
It's-
used
it's
to
ran
love
its
writing
course.
poetry and smoking a J. Like that was my favorite thing
Oh,
to do. you
oh,
know?
so how has that affected your writing, or has it affected your writing? The fact that you're not smoking anymore.
I was thinking it was gonna
hasn't.
be one of those things that
It
helped the
definitely
writer block.
opened up my mind a lot.
To stop
And,
writing, or
No,
to stop
to-
smoking, or to smoke? It opened up your mind.
Yeah, smoking weed like while writing, like it really like opened up like a different like part of me, you know, like different
Definitely.
emotions, different
Definitely.
like, you know. But I think it gets to a point where it's done. Like, you know what I mean? You don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't. And I think I'm so confident in within my own mind that I can sit down and write without needing to smoke or drink. And I know like some people like love to drink and write because it kind of helps you spill. But that's the thing about a writer. Do not let anything stop you. Just write. Just write how you feel. They're emotions. Like you're supposed to feel. Just write.
Do you feel like at one point you were smoking before you wrote, or drinking before you wrote because
Yeah.
you felt like you needed it?
Yeah, I did. Because I felt like I wasn't able to spill my emotions comfortably. And I felt like, so every time I would drink and I would like write.
But you feel like you've reached that point now? Like you're
Yeah.
you're comfortable?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, of course. I mean, it's like, you know, when you get kind of nervous a little bit, I still get nervous sometimes, like sitting down and like about to write, believe it or not, you know? But when, back in the day when I used to like drink or whatever, I used to always have a saying. So write drunk, edit sober. And it used to be crazy because the next day I'd be like, damn, I'm heavy shit last night. Like, oh my God.
On one, going in.
Yeah, no, for real. It's crazy. And I still to this day like read some things that I wrote and I'm just like, whew,
Yeah.
that's some deep shit. I was really serious last night. But the way I look at it is you don't need a substance or anything to make you who you are, to make you write whatever you're passionate about. And I think everybody levels at it at different time of their life, you know. There's some people that are still trying to go through that, and there's some people that are learning, and
Yeah.
I have just reached my limit on all that. I realized that I used to drink because I used to have social anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like go out and be like, oh, I need a drink like right now because like I need to, you know. But
There's a
now
lot of
it's
people still like
yeah,
that.
it's still like that. But now it's gotten to the point that no, I'm gonna step out and I'm not worrying about anybody but myself. I started actually going to like plays by myself, theaters by myself. I go to shows by myself. I go to coffee shops by myself. Like
I say it all the time. Like when you can do that, that's when you know you're good. Like a lot of
Yeah.
people can't do that. Like they're like, I don't want to step out of the house unless I'm moving with somebody.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
no,
I go
there's
eat alone if
so
I need
many
to.
people.
Like,
Yeah,
if I'm hungry,
you
I'll go
have
eat
to.
alone. I'll go
I
see the
mean,
movies alone. Like,
who's gonna be your best friend but you?
It always reminds me of that Kevin Hart, his stand up when he was talking about how like he's so happy he just goes on walks now.
Yeah.
And like people are like, you go on walks, like
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, like I'm happy. Like that's how like when you're in a good place, you can do stuff like that, and
Yeah.
it doesn't bother you. So that's what's up. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
all
really
for
awesome.
those things too. I just don't know if I can do. The one thing I don't do is like go to the bar though. Like sit at the bar and drink dolo. That's
I've
one
actually
thing.
done that before. It's kind of like very
Every now and then,
soothing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I've
every
done
now
that
and then.
and written.
Like
I've
that-
actually like taken my book
Yeah.
and I like go and I'll like order a glass of wine and I will just sit and I'll people watch. And
Really?
you might look like that crazy girl, like, girl, like, but who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who are they to
It's-
judge you? Like,
And honestly, for you, it sounds like you're pulling from that. Like you're people watching, but like I feel like you might see some shit that inspires your writing.
Yeah.
No, but that's literally what it is. People watching is one of the craziest things ever. I mean, I write the Metro, and like sometimes I'm like sitting there and I look at this girl and like her face expression. I'm just like, I can only imagine what she's going through. Like, you know what I mean? And like people like just talking and like engaging in conversation. Like people are weird and crazy. For real,
people are dope though. Like
but
people are dope.
They
Like
are.
yeah.
Like I think. You know, I read one of these things and they said the most sincere smiles are at the airport. Because when people come out and their family sees them, they haven't seen them, their smiles. Like, and sometimes, and I realized that because I went one day to get my dad and I saw how like they interacted and it's so beautiful. Like I got emotional because I was like the girl, like it was relationship wise. Like, you know, the boyfriend probably or whatever he is, the husband, whatever, came back home and like, she was like, her face just like flustered with like, you know, happiness. And that was so beautiful. I was
That's
like,
crazy.
oh my
like
God.
I'm about to start people watching at the airport now. Like I'm usually like headphones in. I'm ready to get on this flight. Like now I'm about to be like, who's happy?
Yeah.
Who's really happy?
Who's really not happy? No, for real. I mean, it's just,
That's
you
what's
just
up.
be aware. I think that's what it is. Just be aware with things around you. I think everybody's just trying to kind of live and be happy, you know? Just,
I feel that.
that's literally what I realized it was, you know? So it's kind of
feel
nice. I just went to a play recently. It's called
What'd you say?
Blacks, BLKS. And it's about like it's 3 women and it was empowering Black women, which was so awesome. And
That's what's up.
it was beautiful. Oh my God. I shot, like, you guys really need to go see it still.
Is it in
because-
DC?
Yeah, it's in DC.
Yeah.
Woolly Mammoth Theater.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see that shit.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
immediately.
That's
Like
dope.
probably tomorrow if
That
there's some
sounds dope.
tickets.
I mean, guys, I can get you guys cheaper tickets.
That's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
up.
If you guys,
All
I
right,
will literally go a second time if you guys want.
I'm
It's
down.
actually
I'm
really
all
cool.
for it.
You will never realize how much the theater does for you. I mean, the raw emotions, like they're actors, and you're up there, and you're like taken by it. It's like a movie, and I feel like, you know, I go to the movies by myself all the time.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
I love
and
that shit.
Some people are like, "Why you go to the movies by myself?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"Don't you watch your movie by yourself
Right.
at home?"
Right.
So, and then there are times it's like there are times when you're like, dude, I'm not trying to like, I'm trying to say, hey, you trying to go to the movie? Nah, I'm busy. Hey, you trying
Right.
to no,
Get
like,
rejected by a bunch of people like,
I
fuck
don't
no,
give
I'm
a
out.
shit. You know what? I want to go see that movie. I'm gonna go see that movie, and that's exactly what it was. Like it was written by Azalea Banks, one of my favorite
Wow,
poets.
really?
There you go. Yeah.
Controversy.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so I just was like, shit, fuck this, buying a ticket, going. And then I went recently to a pop-up magazine. So it's pretty much like a magazine, but like opened.
Okay.
So you know how like a magazine you like read it? This
Yeah.
was like alive. So it's like
Word.
people telling their stories, people showing
Word.
video, music, this. It was so inspiring.
Damn, that sounds
They did a
crazy.
tour and they only did a couple cities and it was sold out everywhere. It was really nice. It was
Yeah.
at the Warner Theater.
Okay.
Beautiful theater. Definitely recommend you guys to go anytime because just the way it is, I felt like I was so special. I was like, and I literally was so dressed in like my pigtails. Like people are like, who the fuck is this girl? Like, in my sparkle Vans, and I didn't care. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
you yourself.
It really was
You're
great.
comfortable,
Yeah,
good,
I just-
content.
That's what's up.
And I'll call my Uber. I was like, take myself on a date, and it felt good. Like it was weird. I felt good. Like and I literally was like, I'm taking myself on a date. That's literally how I looked at it.
Do you ever have any expectations on meeting people? Do you like ever look to meet people when you do that, when you go dolo, or is it just a dolo experience?
I think I need to start doing that.
Okay.
Looking to meet people?
Yeah, like having a little bit more of inspiration because I kind of want to start meeting people who do what I like too.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like, you know, going out to a bar is fun, you know? Going out to a restaurant is fun. Like, but who are these people that are going to be like, hey, did you hear about that one show? That one play? Did you hear about that one cool thing? You know, I want to like start meeting more people like that.
Yeah.
I haven't started connecting and like coming out of like my shell when I go to these things because it's a little hard. You're like by yourself. You're
Yeah,
like,
and a
geez,
lot
like,
of
do
people
you-
are
do you
usually
mind-
together.
No, but this I've started noticing that people really do go by themselves because you know they just come and like sit on the chair and by themselves and they're on their phone. I'm just like, okay, like it's okay to do this, and that's how I started feeling like comfortable with just doing things alone. Hey, you got to be your own best friend. I
You
talk
got
to
to.
myself all the time.
Dude,
Hey.
my sister makes fun of me all the
Like
time.
out
'cause
loud, or
Yeah, out loud.
I don't do it out loud.
Oh, I do
I'm
it
not-
out
I'm
loud.
not out louder.
Literally. Oh my god, so much. It's insane. I'm like, Fatima, what's wrong with you? Like, really? Like,
Oh,
get
okay.
up.
All right, yeah, like that.
What's
like,
wrong?
I thought
Like,
you meant,
get
like
up.
super full
Whole conversations out loud.
Oh no, I mean, bruh.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
what I was
I
like,
think
yo,
that's
like,
then,
shit.
then
Like,
you're
me and you,
crazy.
we not all
Yeah,
on the same
then you're
page.
crazy. Yeah, no, kind of just like readjusting yourself, like
Yeah, big
like
facts.
yeah, like just telling yourself. That's why I like put quotes everywhere in my room to kind of just. Sometimes you just need that. You need that pep talk. You need that good job. you're doing great.
A little pat on the back.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
For real, you know. And like I said, I always feel like I have to look for that in like people, and you don't. You have to look within yourself.
Dude, I say all the time, if I could clone myself, I would hang out with myself all the time.
Okay.
Not
Me
and not
neither,
because I'm
crazy.
Really?
Yeah,
You
like,
guys
have
wouldn't?
you ever dated somebody who's like you?
Nah.
Yeah, like I've dated somebody who's worst thing in the world.
I have to.
Absolutely
It
awful.
was. It
Really?
was
Like,
the
damn, that's
worst.
me. Like that's me.
Yeah,
Damn.
we fought all the time. It was crazy.
Really?
I'm just like, oh my
You gotta
God,
find somebody else who
what
gives you
a day.
balance. Like you said, everything is this and that. It's always yin and yang.
Yeah, I wouldn't
No,
want to date
I-
myself. I would want to hang out with myself. I feel like I'd be a great best friend.
I would
To myself.
I definitely agree. I really wish I could meet people like me because
Yeah.
I'm a great person. I'm
Yeah.
a great friend.
Yeah.
I'm loyal. I'm respectful. I'm kind. I'm the type of person to push you to
Supportive,
your best.
yeah.
I'm supportive. Like I want to meet someone like me. Shit.
Hell yeah. I'm all for
Motherfuckers ain't
that.
shit. I'm just kidding.
But nah, I pulled a few things from your Instagram, of course, because you definitely put a lot of work up. So
You talking about I'm clocking you.
Like what?
well, yeah, I mean, I did some research for the
Clack, clack.
interview. You know, I
Yeah.
gotta do some research for the
Hey,
interview.
go
But
ahead.
one of the things I saw on there was you stating that new R&B will never replace old school, and that old school is the type of love that you want. That's the type of romance.
Yes.
So, what are some of those classic old school R&B songs or artists
Oh my
that do you miss?
God.
Yeah.
My whole life has changed.
The genuine.
Hey, man. That shit does go.
You are the special one. Yo, that's a jump right there. That's a jump, bro.
You guys straight up.
Right off
like,
the top.
what?
I love that.
Can
That was
I
right off
get
the top.
that?
That was
Like-
beautiful. That was a
Or,
classic jump right there.
What was it? What's my other favorite ones? Fuck, I hate when especially when
Yeah, it happens
Nah,
every
yeah,
time.
you on the spot,
Not
but
sure.
honestly, you gave a good one for sure.
yeah, like come
Genuine
on.
was a real one, man.
Definitely, like give me that back.
Right.
You know, now it's just like singing like soulful. I feel like now beats have gotten so incorporated too. So it's all about like beats.
Yeah,
you
the
know, and like
sound.
the sound of like the tone behind it. And I think back in the day it was so much more like the passion, like my whole like he was going
Trying to
in,
win that
like, at
woman.
the end
Yeah,
of
the
it,
riffs.
like what? Oh my
Like, when
god,
you
I've been
feel it, you
listening
feel
to
it.
some old school R&B lately. Like it's crazy. Like in the car, and I'm literally in there like jamming by myself, and
feeling
I'm
that
like, I
shit.
don't give a shit who's looking
Yeah.
at me. People are probably like, yo, this girl in that car jamming, and I'm like, yes, because this is my shit. Like
I feel you though. Like old school R&B is definitely the best R&B to me too.
Yeah,
Like,
me too. Like you can, I mean, of course, there's people out there right now that like Georgia Smith. I love Georgia Smith. Great singer. I saw her live twice and gave me chills every single
Yeah.
time. Like
That's
I mean,
bae.
there's a difference between recording and then being live in the same like segment. I feel like these days so many shits are auto-tuned that you don't even know what you really sound like. And there are times that I see a lot of like live music that would hear their stuff and I love it. And then I would go to their live thing and I'm like, oh my God, I would
Yeah.
just rather listen to you on my phone
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you suck. Like, this is horrible. And Georgia Smith, I literally teared up.
Her album
It-
was amazing too, man.
Yeah,
She's an incredible artist.
she's all around just
Yeah,
lovely.
every-
She's
every-
just
Oh, and
straight
she is
lovely,
every
bro.
single
beautiful.
thing,
And
every
she's
single
thick.
thing about
That's
it.
what I love about
No,
her. Like,
no.
oh my God. I'm like, yes, honey. Yes.
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 I'm with you.
But yeah, we were talking about
Seriously.
her a little bit earlier too. Shout out to her for winning that Grammy. Or
Yeah,
how
her.
many did she win?
I think she won one for R&B album.
Okay,
and
she had
maybe,
5
and maybe She
nominations.
won like another for like song with Bryson, but
Okay.
I know she won album though for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, her is dope. Like her music it's old school R&B to me. Like I remember when I listened to the tape that she dropped, like the part 1 of the tape.
Uh-huh.
The very first song, I thought I was listening to Lauryn Hill. I was like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
me
going
too.
on? Like
She's amazing.
she's dope.
And
Very
she
dope
sounds
artist.
the same live too. Saw her live.
Yeah.
Great.
Besides those two, are there any other newer artists that you're really messing with that like give you some of those strong feelings that the old school R&B used to do? Like I know I fuck with Black. I feel like Black has a real soulful vibe to his,
Oh my
to his
God,
music.
definitely. Oh, I was out. Switch is one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, yeah,
by
that
him.
joint's-
Oh my
that
God.
joint's
Or
big.
Pretty Little Fears. Great song.
Yeah. How you feel about Normani? You listen to any
Yeah,
of her stuff?
Normani's nice.
Oh, I haven't
yeah.
heard of her.
Who else?
Roy Woods gives me a strong like Michael Jackson vibe. Does he give you guys any Michael Jackson vibes? Roy
I haven't
Woods.
heard enough of him.
No?
I've heard a couple songs here and there. But
He
not
has like
enough.
that to him a little bit where he gets that little.
Yeah, I'm
with
not into
little-
that.
No.
Do you like Bruno or is he too pop?
Absolutely not. I hate Bruno Mars. I think
Thank
his
you for
voice
saying
is
that.
so annoying.
Are
I
you
hate
serious?
his music. I
Wow.
hate. I'm so sorry, Bruno. Like I think you're a great individual, but bruh, like no,
You
I
don't dig-
can't.
you don't
No,
dig
I
the music
can't.
at all.
I really hate Bruno. Mars.
Damn.
I just cannot.
I'm not big on the
But
pop
honestly,
shit
my
either.
music is so like different. Like I'm the type of girl to put on Etta James while I'm like I love jazz. Oh my God, soulful jazz. Etta James, Billie Holiday, like Louis Armstrong. Like take me back to that era. Like what?
Word.
Like that. Like Etta James though. Oh,
She a
thinking
real
about
one?
heartbreak. Oh my God, all I could do is cry. What? When she sings that, like I feel like my insides are like I don't know. I really don't know how to describe it. I really don't.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Not a lot of people can look back at that and enjoy that music, especially not right now.
I love
That's
jazz
what's up.
music. That's why honestly I don't really listen to so many mainstream music. Honestly, I made you a playlist. And
Yeah,
it's
that had a lot of
You
fire
went from,
shit.
like here to there.
I had a lot of fire shit on there.
I think the only time that I listen to turn up fucking music, I don't go searching for it. First off, ever.
It's when you're, like, out.
Like if I'm out, I'm not like, oh, let me see that new, no, that new Future song. It's not things that I want to listen to when I'm like,
Only
chilling,
when I'm
like,
lifting. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
making
Working
money,
out.
yeah, making money, selling drugs, fucking bitches. Like, no,
Out here laying
I'm
on the bed.
good. Yeah, like,
Future
just
blaring in your
chilling.
ear, like,
yeah, like I
it's not the
can't.
vibe.
It's just not. But when I'm when I'm out, I'm just like, getting money.
Right.
Just kidding, but for real.
Who's like been the most impressive new artist to you? Like who's someone that you've recently discovered? Would it be Georgia or somebody like Georgia?
Recently discovered.
Maybe more so in the hip
Mahalia?
hop. Mahalia.
Have you heard of her?
She's one of the twins or something, isn't she?
No.
No.
Nah, it's Chloe and Haley.
Oh, okay.
That's what you're talking
Okay,
about?
that's what I was.
Who the
Yeah, that's
hell
what I was
is
talking
Chloe
about.
and
From
Haley?
Grownish
These
or whatever.
twins, they singers. They're good singers.
Mahalia's really good.
Is she? I haven't heard of her.
And London. Oh, and I Am DDB.
Oh yeah, that's one of the girls that's on the
I've not heard of
playlist,
that.
dude.
I am DDB.
Yeah, she's
What?
fucking
and
fire.
she is so beautiful. It's insanity.
It's literally just like initials I M
DDB.
DDB. Okay.
Oh, you have to listen to her. She is actually, honestly, one of my favorite new artists. Like when I discovered her, I think I would listen to her for like a whole month. Like I
vibe-
refuse to like listen to everything, but
Her vibe is sick.
I'm
her
definitely check her
vibe
out.
is so different. Like
what's
we're
up.
gonna listen to some
Is
of
it
this
R&B?
after this. It's
like
a
hip-hop,
mix.
R&B
it's like
to it.
R&B,
It's like a
electric
vibey,
type
like
shit?
no.
Nah, just like
Okay.
hip hop and R&B. She's like a blend of that.
It's different. It really is a different sound. It's a different feeling, emotion, like all that.
She's
It's
like
really
East
cool.
African or something, right?
Yeah, she is.
That's tight, man.
Yep.
More-
Shout out to all the Africans.
Yeah, man.
But London is huge in music. Like, I mean, all these emerging artists are from London.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. I thought
It's
you were like
crazy.
naming a person. in London.
Yeah, I was like,
No,
I'm not hip to London.
Yeah, he's in London. Yeah, no, it's crazy.
I know
'cause-
London on the track.
Yeah, because DDB lives in London, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's
Mahalia
the
lives in
beauty
London.
right now.
Georgia Smith.
Georgia
from
Smith.
London.
My nigga Skepta.
Yeah,
Oh, I love Skepta.
Skepta go hardest.
gigs, fuck gigs.
Hell yeah, gig is hard. Gigs is hard. Another one of the quotes I found on your page though too was, or I think it might have been a repost though, but you said your friends are actually a reflection of how much you love yourself and who you really are. Not to sound cliche, how do you define love?
Define love,
Mhm.
but what kind of love? Relationship love, friend love, because there's love everywhere. So
Yeah, there's passionate, compassionate,
there's-
very
that's
true.
what I really
I mean,
but
love
if you want to give
because-
us like a 30,000 foot view of love, like
Of
just
love.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
most base.
I think supportive,
Okay.
balanced, and like inspiring. I think that's what like one of my big issues with like friendships, relationships, or whatever is like they're just stagnant, and it's like you just don't inspire me. You know what I mean? You don't push me at my best. You don't support me so much, and I think that's where, like, you know, and it's true. Like your friends are a reflection of you, and it's like I read a quote one time, and it was, "If you are the smartest person in the room, get the fuck out."
Yeah.
You're in the
Yeah.
wrong room.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like if you're literally get out, because there's what are you gonna learn, you know? So
But I feel like that's like an interesting like. There's like two sides to that, you know, because I feel like anybody can always teach you something. There's always something to be learned by the next person. You know what I mean? So I guess there's like
To a degree.
being able to
To a
find a
degree,
balance.
trust
in
But
me.
it.
it
Yeah.
I've been
depends. It
around
depends on
some
what you're
fools
learning. Yeah,
that-
like even a fool can teach you something,
Right.
but what are they teaching you?
Yeah.
Is it bringing something to your life that you
yep,
actually care
is it
about?
changing you?
So I guess there's
Is
just
it
like
molding you?
maintaining that balance of recognizing, yeah, maybe I might be really smarter than everybody, but I could pick something up
Yeah.
here and there.
Right.
But don't stick around those people
Right,
that
like,
clearly
yeah.
are not
Like,
teaching
yeah,
you
th-
anything.
That saying it kind of it's kind of like an elitist saying, like to say like if I'm the smartest person
Right,
in the room,
right.
like, but that's not what it means
Right.
though. It just means
Yeah.
like if I can't take anything away from anybody in the room, I need
Got you.
to get out.
Got you. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify that a little bit or something.
Clarified.
Snap.
Can you talk about a situation where you feel like you've had to cut someone off, or like where you know you had to walk away? You don't have to say names or anything, but do you remember like any big relationships that
I've had a
just
lot of
became
relationships
super
that I had to
toxic?
walk away from. I mean,
Friendships.
I mean,
everything.
friendships a lot. I mean,
What's the main reason? Why do you feel like, obviously all the situations are different, but has there been something that's kind of like,
Any patterns?
yeah,
support.
really?
Yeah. I think I'm constantly the one that's like supporting them and like doing so much for them, and
And
it's
that
like
drains you,
sometimes
huh?
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
just kind of like, dude, am I not a good friend?
Right.
Like, is there something that I'm doing wrong that like, you know, and just that's when you realize like, and not even that I expect so much from other people, and I think that's what fucks me up so much. Is I
Yeah.
expect people to treat me the way I treat them.
That's the hardest thing for
It
like
is.
anybody, because
Everything.
expectations can fuck you up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like if you can maintain that balance of just doing stuff for people and not expecting anything, your life can definitely be a lot better. But it's hard as shit. Like
It is
it's
hard as
easy to
shit.
say,
Especially
but
when
in
it
practice.
especially when it comes to the simple things like respecting one another, or just like doing like certain like small things that you would think in your head that everybody should have these same understandings.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's not retributed or
No, it's
given
not.
back.
Not at all. So I mean, you know, at that point, you start getting drained because
Yeah.
it's like, dude, I'm always there for you, supporting you, doing this, doing that, and it's like, can I get some love in return? You know,
It literally sounds
It's
like
always
what you
in-
were just saying about having your cup being emptied and nobody being there to fill it up.
yeah. And then that's when I started realizing that I am my own best friend. So I'm gonna start going to things alone, treating myself to things by myself, just, you know, nourishing myself. I mean, I always go on these like days during the week that I just like pamper myself. I'm like, ooh, I'm just gonna put a nice mask on my face and listen to some great jazz music and cook myself. I love to cook, and I think cooking has been such like a, I don't know, like I de-stress when I cook.
Like
It's crazy.
therapeutic for you?
Yeah, it's so therapeutic, and people don't understand that unless you're like doing it, because it's so therapeutic, and especially it comes out.
I feel what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
let's cook like 3 meals yesterday, like for like the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Like, it just felt good to just cook.
it just feels good.
Yeah,
like,
it
and
really
I always
does.
and I
It really
cook
does.
like in a really like, I need to have my vibe. Like I need to have like my
The music, hell
I need
yeah,
to
hell
have
yeah.
this. Like I mean, music literally is everything for me. Like everything.
Facts.
People, if they're like, if you can have one thing to like go through your life, I'd literally choose music.
If you can only listen to one artist for the rest of your life, who would
No,
it be?
you're bugging.
Come
Yeah, I was
on.
about to say, like,
Come on.
I mean, it's like repetitive. You'd lose your shit. You'd like, all right, it's
But
time for
one
some new
artist,
sounds
they can have a
now.
long discography of shit. Only Tupac for the rest of your life, or only
Oh, Tupac. Don't
only
stop
Lil
me. I
Wayne
love
for the rest of
Tupac
your
so
life.
much. Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, I love only
Only
Drake.
Future, yeah.
Only hey, but Drake though.
I mean, yeah, I
Drake,
couldn't say only Drake for the rest of my life.
I
don't know
Drake
about
does
just
have-
Drake.
He has a long discography. If you're going
Yeah,
back to like mixtapes,
if you wanna-
if you want to
yes.
go like
I
before
mean, if you
so
want to
far
just choose
gone,
one artist and do
comeback
that,
season.
Drake would be
is
the
that-
one?
yeah, I mean,
Because there's versatility within that too.
exactly. You
Yeah.
can go from like R&B to like bop hopping to like, you know, crying about my feelings to, you know,
Some Marvin's Room in there.
exactly, to, you know, God's plan to.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I hate that some people hate on Drake so much, but honestly, like, shout out to him.
I
Because
mean, people hate on
think-
greatness, though. People hate on the Patriots. People hate on LeBron. People hate on
Yeah,
Drake. Like,
it's true.
if you are
Yeah,
that good,
it's true.
it's hard
Yeah.
to love you.
Yeah, I mean, Drake, like, back in the day music, like his old mixtapes, like you said, oh my God.
Comeback season to like So Far Gone is dope. I love So Far Gone. I'm so glad it just redropped.
Yeah.
But comeback season
Yeah.
will forever be my shit.
Yeah. It's like the Wiz Khalifa. Like, I love old school Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Like, what happened now?
Right,
Wiz,
who knows?
where are you?
Yeah, I don't
Because
know.
old school Wiz, like, oh my God.
Classic. Even like
He
his
just dropped a dope commercial though that I'm actually about to rip from YouTube and put on the page. It's like him and his son, like it's like an Oreo commercial. Like yeah, his music sucks now, but dude is a good ass.
Yeah,
dad.
his
Like, he
relationship
has a
with the
lot
son
of
is
Oh,
good
no,
really
shit
he
cute.
is
with-
Bash.
Yeah.
Right? That's his name.
They do some really
Bash?
cute stuff. Yeah, Sebastian. Yep.
Sebastian. It's
Are
cute.
there? You mentioned the Rupee earlier. Are there any other books or movies or anything that you're into right now?
I did just finish Becoming by Michelle Obama.
I listened to that. Really good book.
Great book. It was so well written. I was so mind blown at like how well written it was, and it was like emotions from left to right, and just about her life, and you know, it's crazy. Like the Obamas. Oh my God.
I feel like she's gonna take a run at the presidency or something. I fell like she hasn't.
doesn't want
She
to.
hasn't fell back
she
from
said it.
like
She
the
doesn't
front
want
forefront.
to. She doesn't
No?
want. That's not her.
That's
That's
not
not
gonna
her.
happen.
No?
Not anytime soon, especially
Yeah.
if
And,
ever.
Yeah, I don't think so. It's not her voice.
It's
And I
kind of
think
crazy
she's
how
seen-
engaged she stayed, like in the light. You know, I feel like
Yeah,
when
of
presidents
course.
like when their term runs out, they just kind of run back to the shadows. But she
Yeah.
stayed very present.
Yeah, because she was intact with the right things. Because politics are bullshit at the end of the day. So she will not be a politician because it's not her. It's not her heart. She wasn't raised like that. Like, if you should read her book for real.
Yeah, I need to.
because
I'm gonna check it out.
It's really interesting. I did just pick up a book. It's what is it? The Subtle of Not Giving a Fuck. Did you guys hear about
I've
that?
seen about it. Yeah.
Did you?
It's a good
How was
book.
it? Was
It's
it?
funny.
Okay. So I'm trying to read a little bit more of like self-love books a little bit more.
There's if you like self-love books, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F is pretty good, but the best one, let me see if I can pull it up right now. Man, I can't think of the name, but it's Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and it's all small stuff. Best book I've read. I literally
And it's
I read it twice, listened to it at least like 4 or 5 times, like within 2 or 3 months. Best motherfucking book.
interesting.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with like the 4 Agreements and shit too.
Of
That was
course.
like a
I read
really
that book,
good
like so long ago.
self-love one.
Dizzy Wright. Shout out Dizzy Wright.
Word.
Yeah, that's who I remember.
Damn, Dizzy.
I forgot
haven't
about
heard
him
that
too.
name in a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah.
Dizzy Wright?
Yeah, I haven't heard that name
You
in a
guys know who
minute.
Dizzy Wright?
Yeah, we know he is. Yeah, for sure. Which has been a minute since we.
Is he still making music?
I haven't
Yeah,
heard-
he is.
is it?
He's still touring too.
Word.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any of his music like at all recently.
It's great. That man is amazing. You know,
He's fire though.
He is amazing.
He's fire.
He's
He's
a good
definitely fire.
father. Good, like, shout out to you, Diz.
Yeah, man, he's fire.
Straight up.
Who's the biggest influence on your life right now? Just in your life.
My mom,
Okay. Was there any reason why?
her strength, what she did to get us here, to how she gets up every single day and manages to polish herself in such an amazing, like, way, and the way she just cares and nurtures and cooks. And my mom,
Right.
my mom is, wow.
Shout out to all the moms.
No, seriously,
man.
it's
Yeah.
really
They're
insane.
They're some of the strongest people for real.
She is, and you know, she works a hard job. She works 2 jobs. The fact that she can come back home and, you know, cook and make this and
Yeah.
make that, and then wake
Tend
up
to
the
the
next
family,
day, you
all
know,
that.
and it's just it's beautiful. It really is, and
Yeah.
strength. And my mom struggled so much, especially bringing 4 kids to America. Can you imagine, like, with nothing? Like, every time my parents used to tell me the story about coming to America, like, it's really powerful.
Yeah.
And she did it. And like I said, I wouldn't be the person that I am if she didn't struggle for me in the beginning.
For sure.
Shout out to Mom Dukes, man.
What about in
Mama.
your work? Who's the biggest influence on your writing?
On my writing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I can't
Really?
answer
You just
that
pull
question.
from everywhere, everything?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do, to be
That's
honest
fair.
with you. I think if you want to be a very well-rounded person with everything, don't just stick to one.
Yeah.
I think I have so many like subtle loves for everything here and there that there are times that I have books, like I have so many books that sometimes I just need like a spur of inspiration. I'll just grab one of them and I'll just like open it up and just like read. Like I have a lot of poetry books, just things like that. I just literally
Just like go to
yeah,
motivation.
different platforms. I love
Gotcha.
blogging too. Looking for different blogs.
Do you have a blog site?
I don't.
No. Okay.
I think I used to.
Coming
somewhere
soon?
Tucked in. I think it's somewhere tucked in.
Yeah.
Tucked.
Gotcha.
Tucked and hidden. I definitely want to start blogging again. I
Yeah,
want to like do.
definitely.
I actually really do. Honestly, I want to start like doing a health, beauty, love, relationship advice, all of this.
That'd be fire.
Especially like going out in DC, I want to like be able to write a blog about different restaurants that you can go to on dates or just
Yeah.
like with your friends or by yourself, like different food to have.
Do
like,
it. Do
one
it.
of my favorite restaurants, Maidan. You guys should definitely go. It's amazing. Literally, the wait list is like crazy. I
Word.
literally made reservations the first time like 3 weeks ahead.
Damn.
I just
Yeah.
went last Tuesday again because it's amazing.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Vegan friendly, vegetarian friendly. Word. I'm about to check that shit out.
It's
So-
wood fired and everything.
Shit.
Yeah.
What can we expect from you this year?
Oh my God, more confidence.
I love that.
So
I love
does that mean that we're gonna see you up on a stage reciting some poetry?
Ooh,
2019.
I don't
I
know.
wanna see it. I wanna see it.
I'm not really sure.
Is that what happens when you get nervous? You turn British. Just turn
Yeah,
British.
I do.
Now I definitely need to come see your poetry. You're gonna be up there and
You
just
should
switch
just
it
do
up.
your poetry in,
You know?
in British accent. That'd be fun.
I go to a lot of like poetry readings, and I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
Sometimes I think that my stuff is not a spoken word stuff because when you're up there, there's only you literally just say it, and then it's like how they resonate it is on you, is on them. But when you put it on paper, how they resonated is on them because they have it right in front of them. They could be rereading it. I did think about doing it and then like printing it out and like handing out to everybody before I go up there. So while I'm reading it, they're kind of like reading it as well.
Yeah. So you don't want to be like a beat performer or a beat poet?
I
like,
don't, to be honest with you.
This is my
really,
life.
No, I think I'd record myself, like, you know, sometimes I do record myself, like, reading my poems, and I'll, like, record just, like, myself reading them, like, because I, like, kind of wanted to, like, start practicing doing
them live.
Yeah, and, I mean, maybe.
You're definitely making steps, though. That's what's up.
I am. I'm trying. Hey, I'm not giving up on myself. I think that's literally, like, the number one goal that I've realized in the past is I am who I am today because I never give up.
You heard it here first, 2019. She's going to be on stage.
We're going to see Teemers on stage. We're going to see it.
How can just let people know how can people get in touch with you? What's your social medias? What's the way that people can get in touch with you? Okay.
Teemers.
That's all Instagram.
Are you on Twitter?
All that?
I'm not on Twitter.
Okay.
That's surprising for a writer.
I'm not on anything.
Just
I'm only
IG.
On Instagram.
Only IG.
I took off my Snapchat too because that shit got so annoying.
Bro, your Snapchat was lit as fuck.
Yeah.
I missed that shit.
Yeah, but I couldn't handle it anymore. Snapchat's gotten to the point where like people tell stories in bunny ears and dog ears, and it's like,
the filters are annoying.
What do you really look like? You have so many filters on. I don't even know what you look like. Stories with their squeaky voices. I'm like, bruh, I can't.
That shit's annoying.
Literally how we
Instagram
became.
is starting to start. Some people on Instagram are starting to do that too.
Yeah,
I've noticed.
but
I was never really that big on Snapchat.
I think the only cute thing is like those hearts, but that's it.
All right, awesome.
Like
so let's sign us off. Host.
Cool. Drop the socials, bro. Let the people know where we can find you.
Let them.
Yeah. You can always find me at
bro.
at Strong Black Fathers. Good content, dispelling mistruths, always good stuff there. And then my personal OK_Ofe. Speaking of, we need to find Fatima's other account. So
if you're watching this right now, man, find that silent account. I'm gonna find that, John.
Okay.
I'm gonna just look for good poetry. Find an account that's private with good poetry.
Block.
True.
Literally block.
Decline the follow request.
Yep.
That's how I'm gonna know that's you then.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna make a fake account request. You won't know it's me.
Oh,
then I'm in there. Boom. Problem solved.
Damn, I shouldn't even have told you.
Well, cool, man. Make sure you guys go follow Fruit Studios too, man.
Yeah, book a session.
Shout out to Fruit Studios.
This place is amazing.
Jeffrey Bailey.
FruitStudiosVA.com. Fruit Studios _VA on Instagram.
Right in
Facebook,
the heart of Herndon,
Twitter.
right in downtown Herndon.
731 Elder Street, man. Make sure you guys pull up, book your sessions.
Pull up.
It's definitely a good vibe up in here. And of course, make sure you guys follow Flyer Population on all social medias, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, everything you can think of. FLYYR Population. I'm your favorite host, Remy Supreme. We had a beautiful, amazing episode today.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for coming out.
It was great. Seriously.
This was beautiful. I really appreciate it. We're looking forward to the next episode.
Next time, after the book drops and after we see you on stage, you coming back.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Big fact.
Drops in. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you guys, Flyer Population. We appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peace and love. Peace and love.
Deuces.
You already know Big Pinchy with the cameo.
Yo, baby.